Hey everyone, this is part 12 in my first edition collection building series. I have 5 books to go through with you today. As you can see, the original cabinet I got is getting a little bit out of hand, a little bit full. Probably gonna have to get another one soon. Start with my Caldecotts that I picked up, or one Caldecott rather. Leo and Diane Dillon's 1977 winner, Ashanti To Zulu, African Traditions. The Dillons also won the Caldecott for the previous year, 1976's Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. This is an interesting book because both of this and the one they won for the year before are about Africa, and they illustrated this for Margaret Musgrove. You can see the $8.95 price, and like other books by the publisher, this has a stated first printing, as you can see. This is a completely flawless book internally, and some rubbing on the outside, but it does present as a near fine book. As you can see, it's just rubbing, no tears at all. If you're a collector, you probably know that this book is incredibly difficult to find. Extremely difficult to find, and if you do find it, you're likely to find the jacket in the second state with a medal. This is the only one without a medal that I've seen at all. So, worth picking up if you can find one in this condition. Another interesting thing about this book is it's, I believe it's the largest, physically the largest Caldecott winner. I can show you, compared to a small octavo size hardcover from one of the new Newberys, you can see how much bigger it is. It's like I said, I believe it's the tallest and widest Caldecott winner. This book is a alphabet book, and you can see there's a page for each letter. Really well illustrated. One thing that's interesting about this book, and like I said, the other African thing that they did the year before, which is more of a folktale retold rather than, this is a little bit like a little encyclopedia. They both fall into this sort of Afrocentric mindset that was really sort of hip in the intellectual and cultural circles in the 70s. Another book from the early 70s that won a Caldecott was Gail Haley's a story which is another tale, and then only a few years after this, Marcia Brown's version of Shadow was also an African folktale retold. Seems a little crazy that 4 in the same decade basically were African related, folktale related. I'm gonna have to think that you could probably chalk that up to certain inclinations of the jury at the time. I'm sure there were some Caldecott jury members across that period that stayed the same, and for whatever reason were incredibly interested in Africa. One reason to, or one thing to remember is this was around the time of the Roots miniseries, and Africa really loomed large in the sort of zeitgeist, and like I said, in the intellectual circles, and it's probably why things like this did so well. I do like this book, though. I like the illustrations a lot, and I really like their previous book, actually, Mosquitoes, which I don't have that book yet. Still looking for it. So that's the only new Caldecott for you. As you can see, I showed you up here, I've been going through the 80s Caldecott winners, late 70s also. And I have 4 new ones in varying degrees of difficulty to get. The first one is 1983, I believe. Actually, I'm gonna look because I totally think I got the date or the year wrong. Sorry, this is the 1980 winner, not 83. So it's Joan Bloss's A Gathering of Days, a New England Girls Journal, and this is a fine copy. If you're looking for it, $7.95 jacket. Has minute wear, blacking the metal as I prefer, not signed, nor is the Dylan's book signed. This, like I said, was a 1980 winner. Joan Bloss, not really a well-known author, but this book did very well. And sort of nice, simple cover design. The book is very self-explanatory. A New England Girls Journal sort of describes the day-to-day life of a girl in New England. Not incredibly exciting. Supposedly quite historically accurate. The author is still alive, but quite old. Believe she lives in Michigan and sometimes does events in that area. It's worth reading if you're interested in the topic. It's just basically a series of diary entries, journal entries. A little bit hard to find. This is a really, really nice copy. The best quality copy that I got of all of them is Robin McKinley's Hero in the Crown from 1985. The 1985 winner, rather. And really cool cover. $11.50 jacket price. This is Green Willow Books. They've had a lot of books that have done really well over the years. This particular one is signed by Robin McKinley. And this has a number line down to 1 and a stated first edition. This is a pristine, very fine copy. Strangely has a an autographed copy sticker on it, maybe from an original bunch of copies that went out. A fantasy book, kind of traditional. The Blue Sword is an earlier book in this series, also good. A little bit kind of by the numbers, but well written. Kind of right smack dab in the middle of the ones that I recall the most. I don't think I mentioned that the Joan Bloss book also has a number line, offset number line down to 1. Trying to mention edition points in these videos. From now on, I'm probably going to make one big video of all the edition points once I'm much further along. Next is 1987's winner, Sid Fleischmann's The Whipping Boy. Also rather difficult to find, illustrated by Peter Siss. There's some interesting illustrations. This is a rather creepy cover, in my opinion. It has an $11.75 dust jacket price in the first edition. Nice jacket description here. Very, very strange story. It's an adventure story, a lot of interesting characters, some comedy. Here's a full page end paper inscription by Sid Fleischmann in 1987, possibly the original signing. Someone who's kept this book very well. This is a fine copy. Also, Green Willow books. They were cleaning up in the 80s, and I think they are still around. This is a stated first edition, number line 9 to 1, just as in other Green Willow books. And last, an easier, somewhat more recent one. Christopher Paul Curtis's Bud Not Buddy, the 2000 winner. Another very fine copy, $15.95 price on the jacket, with a dramatic increase for the Canadian price. This is a point when the Canadian dollar was not doing well. Delacourt Press, they also have done a lot of books, especially the Something Queer books were all originally Delacourt. This is published in 1999 with a full number line, and this is signed a little bit before the Newbery Awards in 2000 when it won by the author. This is about a kid from Michigan, a jazz musician. I don't remember it that well, actually, but I have read it. Easy book to find, cheap. If you're interested in it, and it's one of the winners that you really enjoy, and you're interested in collecting, it'll be an easy one for you to get. So, I'm trying to keep these a little shorter and less rambly these days. So that's all I got for now. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break, recharge the money bank. And I will catch you guys when there's more to show. All right, bye.